Hey, I'm Jess M, owner and founder of TheMarketMade. Welcome. Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button. Now, let me take you on a journey of our bathroom closet remodel, the concept, the trials, the tribulations, the mistakes, the process, all of it. So a little bit of background, our home doesn't have a lot of closet space. There are actually no closets on the first floor. So this is our only closet on the second floor that is large enough to be considered like a storage closet. So we really needed to create more effective space with this being our only storage closet. And this bathroom closet is larger, not very large, but it is very tall. It's sort of a weird shape, but like, yeah, oh man, let me just show you. At the beginning of this, the biggest known issue was that we knew that the previous owners put in this wire metal rack that wasn't really secured, and that it was an odd shape, as in it's like a big closet, but it's more vertical space than horizontal. Yeah, so it was a good effort for effective storage space. However, because the dimensions were off, the metal wire unit didn't really fit well and actually couldn't fit. Some of the shelves and the bars weren't actually entirely attached together, either to themselves or to the wall, which made it a little bit dangerous as well. So we couldn't really use any of the higher shelving because of this. We actually had to take everything out and start from scratch. So that leads to the trial portion, or multiple trials of this experience, and the process, which, let me tell you, they were fun. The next, keyword next, biggest issue we discovered was the wall stability, or lack thereof. Check this out. So taking out the wire rack that was already there, that shelving installation ended up being more challenging, and I put holes in the walls everywhere. So I'm gonna have to patch those up, so that might add on another day or so for this project, unfortunately. Additionally, we also found out that the walls were being held together by tape. So this whole section was actually held together by tape. They literally had like crumbling plaster behind this and then taped it so it wouldn't fall apart more. And then you can sort of see the other areas that were held together by tape. It was a surprising amount. So we had to redo all of that. Also, this is just all one drywall piece to separate the closet from the other side. So that was fun. When I say the walls, part of the walls were being held together by tape, it sounds like it was like duct tape or like a scotch tape or something that would be visible and noticeable, that we would know in advance that this was a thing. It wasn't. We know the occupants before us were long-term tenants, so what they came up with was actually pretty quick-witted, and I definitely applaud them for their ingenuity. They used clear plastic like packaging tape, so you couldn't even like see it on the wall. The only way you would is if it like you got a glare off of it, or if you actually touched it. It was really well put back together, I guess is the best way to describe it. So it sucks for us, but have to give them a hand for their innovation. Initially, we thought this project could be done in a weekend. Initially. That's funny. And then we were like, okay, it's gonna add on a week, because with adding plaster and spackle, you have longer dry times, more sanding, more cleaning up. It adds a lot to the process. So we're like, okay, it'll be a week. So we thought. How this bowl is going to turn out, because they patched it, but they didn't do a really good job. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very rough and they didn't smooth it out at all. And even the wall is soft in some spots. So I might just have to like put my own shelving here to cover it up. And the worst part is they didn't paint it, so I didn't know this. It's probably why all of our stuff is dusty. They didn't paint this to seal it, so it's just been exposed mud and drywall, which creates a lot of dust, unfortunately. So like you can see here, so not great, but hopefully it'll look a lot better once I'm done. After fixing up the walls and getting everything prepped and ready, the next step is obviously painting. However, at this point, I actually had to scrap the original plan for my color scheme in the closet because of the issues that came up. Although, because of it, I now have three favorite parts of my design, which is actually like because of the issues that came up. So I can't be angry. I ended up liking it more than my original design. Go figure. Which you will see my three favorites in a minute. It's the ceiling. I love it because of the issue I ran into with the ceiling being like a rough texture. I actually had to find something that would really cover it up well. White really shows the flaws, so I actually went with a darker color of paint I previously had from Jeff's office renovation, and I love it way more than my original design, and I'm very happy about it. Plus, dark colors are slimming and they hide blemishes. Who knew I would take my fashion experience and meld it with my home improvement experience? So the next issue that came up, because there's always multiple issues in this, you know, when I'm making these things. But the next issue that came up was actually our light fixture. We were switching it out, and for some reason the screws were not going in. It was like somehow it got bent a little bit, so the screws wouldn't align with the light fixture box. So Jeff was like really trying to get the screw in, and it broke off unfortunately, and we couldn't get it out. So we actually had to hire an electrician to replace the entire thing. Not just switch out the light, like literally remove the original like little light fixture electrical box and replace it. It was like a whole thing. But then he hung it and made it look pretty, gave us expert advice. He also did our basement lights too, because we had no lights down there. So it worked out. We had to bring him on anyways for other things. So it's fine. He made it actually probably nicer than what we would have. So although there was a pretty significant delay, and at this point we're like pushing a month with this project, it actually turned out really well. It's so pretty. It's actually my second favorite part of this entire design. Like I just like love this light so much. I like how it hangs. It's so pretty. Plus I didn't know about this, so thankfully we worked with the electrician. He actually told me to get this like remote light socket to replace pull switches, and it works like amazing. Like it's like phenomenal. I'll make sure to like attach a link in the description. Like if you have a pull light and you don't want it to be a pull light, this is like the most amazing technology. You know, it's like not really the most amazing technology, but like in the moment of like dealing with frustration of projects, it is to me. And it actually comes with a plaque and wall anchors, so you can hook it up just like a regular light switch. Also, during this time of the waiting period for the electrician, I was trying to work on other things, and guess what? We received a faulty wall anchor, and it put a giant hole in the wall. And actually, it ended up being a blessing in disguise because I recognized that the walls were a little bit softer because the previous occupants had replastered, respackled, taped it up like so many times. The walls were a little soft. So rather, I decided to make and hand make a custom built-in cabinet and shelving, instead of reusing and reinstalling the previous wire rack. And then after this, and I came up with a new design, I was excited about it. I just like randomly hurt my knee. I was on our treadmill and it just started swelling up for some reason. And I like literally had to stay off of it for like a week or two. So I couldn't work on anything. Like I barely could walk. I couldn't stand for long periods of time. So that delayed us like another couple weeks, unfortunately. But right when I was back to like 50% and I could stand on it longer than an hour, I was back working on this again. Also, side note, my knee is not 100%, but it's better. It's better. And the MRI didn't come back with like anything significant, but it's still not great. It took forever to really create this like custom built-in cabinet. I did experience like a couple of issues that popped up with it, but it like wasn't a big deal. Like I gouged the crap out of the wall. Yeah, long story. Check out my social media page at TheMarketMade for my fails. Pretty much that's like what it is. But it was worth doing it by hand. I absolutely love this custom shelf. Like I just like, it's beautiful. It's really sturdy. I loved how it turned out, and you'll see that in a minute. Also, between dry times of making this shelf, I ordered some industrial pipes to add some nice shelving as well above it. It looks pretty snazzy. And then for the wood shelf to go on the industrial pipes, I actually cut my own wood, sanded it, and sealed it for like a natural cedar finish. Plus, it was way cheaper than purchasing the shelves. And you know, your girl's a cheapskate, but check it out. Once everything was dried, I had the custom shelf built and glued in, nailed in, secured. All of the shelving was done. I just had to add like a few touches, clean up, and put everything back together. Let me tell you, this has been a labor of love, but it did pay off big time. Jeff and I personally, we love this space. You can freely and easily move around and get into the closet, not like previously where you're like moving things out of the way constantly. There is way more effective and efficient storage and vertical storage and organization, which is extremely helpful. You can even see in the final clip that I actually have like all this empty storage space that I don't know what to do with, which is crazy to like think about like how badly we were storing and organizing everything in that closet previously. I mean, like, you can judge us because we know how bad we are with organization and storage sometimes. Honestly, I don't think we truly fully unpacked when we moved in here like years ago. So take a look at the final look, and I am so excited for you guys to see this. If you follow me on social media at TheMarketMade, you know this has been, like I said, a labor of love from the get-go, and I'm so thrilled that it's like finally done. It's like thrilled, relief, like all of the above. Like, I mean, just just look at this thing. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. That'd be very nice of you. And remember to subscribe to the TheMarketMade channel to stay up to date on all my content. And as always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful day, and bye.